Thanks for stopping by at Twisted Art Designs. Let's start today with our positive word of the day. Today I've chosen the word love. So how can we convey love? We can show love by saying I love you to someone, and we can give ourselves self-love. But another great way of showing love, it's better to show love even than to say I love you. Anybody can say I love you, and it has a nice meaning. But when you put action behind the words and do something for someone that shows you love them, that's even a stronger way to convey love. So let's put out a bunch of love today and care for each other and get started with our art project. This is the next layout in my art journal with the Victorian style. So let me just explain a little bit what I did. This is an Arranger Dilutions art journal with the large cream colored pages. And I used Ranger Distress Oxide ink. This is tea dye, and I use this kind of an applicator to add this to the back of the page. I don't want a really busy background with stenciling and all kinds of things because I really want my ads and images to show up well and convey on the page. So it's not that kind of an art journal page where you do a lot of fancy things in the background. So these images have come from different places. This large image with this girl, I love her, she's so cute, came from a Life magazine from 1952, I think was the date on the Life magazine, and it was showing different eras of women's clothing and women's careers and things, and so this image was on the very front cover of the Life magazine. So I used that image as a great big focal and I built around it. I used my ads again that I talked about in my last video about the Victorian ads that I'm getting from a huge box of magazines that were from 1898 to 1903. And there were three different types of magazines, but they had all these vintage ads in them. So I'm choosing fashion ads on this page. And so I backed it with cardstock for here, here, and here, and put them on the page. I fussy cut out the girls to add to the page. And then this one, I created a fold out. I've got this really cool fashion ad for fall suits, $8 to $40, and it is from a mail order company, and it's really long. It's about 14 inches long, and it's because it came from that 1903 magazine that was really, really tall. So what I thought I would do, I'm going to take a piece of watercolor paper. This is 11 by 15 watercolor paper. And I'm going to measure the width, giving it a little bit of a framing. And then I'm going to cut it in 3 pieces. So I'm going to measure out, I need to measure how tall, but I need to divide that by 3, and then I'm going to cut the individual pieces, and then I'm going to reattach them with some sari silk behind them to make them bend, and I'm going to make this a pop-up fold. This is how that came out. So I did my 3 pieces, and I used some ink just to distress it on both sides. I used cloth material at the seams because that holds up the best. And now I can fold this like this and put it on, glue it onto my page. I'll glue this back part on to my layout somewhere when I do a fashion layout, and I can pull this and have the full long ad. Kind of fun. I'm just adhering it with a big paper clip, and now when you pull this up, you see the big long fold out ad. You can see the whole thing, and it stretches out, and it's like 16 inches long. So that's really cool to have that big ad, but it looks really neat on the page to have it as a fold out and to just put this clip and clip it down. I did add some light chalk and pencil work to give them a little bit of color to their faces and add some cheeks. I added the little white specks and flecks in their eyes to make their eyes pop just a little tiny hint of color on her lips. I want them to be black and white, but I didn't. I just thought a couple of little hints of color would be fun. I added this die cut piece. This was a laser die cut flower image. Have no idea where I got it. I've been collecting stuff for 20 years. But I added that to her hat. It was just plain. And so I put the flowers, and before I did that, I put these black ribbons first and cut them to a point so it looks like there's ribbons and flowers on her hat. And I think this page is turning out really cute. It's just another page in my Victorian book. This was the spread from last time. And on the back of that paper clip, I'm just going to clip this image here instead of having it be in the pocket. I had a lot of interest. It seems like people are very interested in the digitals, so I am working on scanning and photographing and editing and making digitals of all these things that I'm using on these pages. I even did this. So it won't be quite as big as it is on my page, because I use the original on my page. The digital, it would be on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, but it still would be really pretty. And you could always, I suppose, take it to a copy place and have it blown up bigger if you wanted to make it bigger. And I did take a white gel pen and I added white highlights. So aside from doing the little dots in her eyes, I added the white around her her little flouncy ruffles, and then on that fancy design on her dress. So I did add some white, if you can see that, and it really makes that image pop off the page. I hope this inspired you to create an art journal layout with some Victorian images. It's such a fun era and fun layout to do. I like this pull out that I did, and the ribbons on the hat, and of course the ads and the images are so pretty. So I hope you enjoyed it, and there will be digitals available for all the hats, and that will include this hat page too. Those digitals are all going to be available in the Etsy shop. I've been working hard at putting together the digitals since I did get some really good interest, and I thought it'd be worth it. I'm using them anyway. It's a great time, so I've done that, and now they are available. So there'll be a separate digital for Victorian hats, and a separate one for bicycles, and a separate one for fashion, because that's what I've done so far. Stay tuned, and I'll show you each layout as I complete it in this fun book that's going to be nothing but Victorian images based from all the images and ads from those magazines. So thanks for stopping by. Go make some art today and spread some love. Art soothes the heart. Thanks for stopping by.